Welcome to this objective breakdown of the manifestos of Ghana's leading presidential candidates for the 2024 election. Our goal is simple: to give you a clear and fair overview of the policies based on the plans they have officially published in their manifestos.
Just so you know, the breakdown is based only on their written manifestos, the stuff they've actually put down on paper. Why? Because while campaign speeches might sound nice, the manifestos are their detailed plans, the things they've actually written and committed to as their blueprints for governing. Campaign promises, on the other hand, can be a bit reactive and exaggerated, just to win people over. So we are sticking to what we think shows their real intentions.
Manifestos are long and detailed documents covering every sector of governance. In this video, I'm just presenting an overview, focused on just the most prominent and recurring themes in each manifesto. The aim is to provide you with a clear sense of each candidate's priorities and vision, so you're not going to go through every single thing they said in their manifesto.
Now, you may be wondering why we are only focusing on 4 candidates when there are 12 in total. The truth is, these 4 are the ones actively communicating with the public and presenting detailed plans. The remaining 8, well, we haven't seen them as visible and consistent in engaging the electorate. So to save time and stay realistic, we are focusing on the candidates with the most traction in this election.
With this said, let's dive into the policies and understand what these plans mean for Ghana. Nana Kwame Bediako, also known as Freedom Jacob Caesar, has a bold and ambitious vision for Ghana's future. His manifesto focuses on industrialization, job creation, and streamlining governance to make the country more self-reliant and efficient. Now let's start with industrialization. Nana Kwame wants to transform Ghana by creating regional industrial hubs in all 16 regions. Now these hubs, according to his manifesto, would focus on processing and refining Ghana's natural resources like cocoa, gold, oil, right here in this country. And the idea is to add raw values to materials instead of exporting them in their basic form. This would in turn create jobs and bring in more money through exports. To manage the wealth from these resources, Nana Kwame proposes setting up a national sovereign wealth fund. Now think of this as a savings account for the country's future. Now this will store profits from minerals, oils, and agriculture to stabilize the economy and reduce Ghana's reliance on foreign aid. He also introduces the idea of tax reserves, where companies can pay taxes using raw materials, which the government will then store as part of these reserves. On the topic of jobs, his plan is to create 800,000 jobs every year by building factories and industries in every region. His focus, according to his manifesto, is not just on jobs, but on making sure that every part of the country benefits from industrial growth. In the field of governance, Nana Kwame wants to simplify how the government operates. He calls this the apostolic governance. The plan is to reduce the number of ministries to just 12, and the idea is to cut down costs and make decision-making faster and more efficient. This would also mean cutting down on wasteful government expenditure. For education, his proposal is something he calls industrialization, which is a mix of industrialization and education. And the goal is to teach students skills that prepare them for industrial jobs while promoting entrepreneurship and patriotism. He believes Ghana needs more people who can create jobs and not just look for them. On the topic of environment, he plans to protect Ghana's water and land by tackling illegal mining, or galamsey, and promoting reforestation. He also emphasizes better resource management to ensure sustainability. All this he said in his manifesto. In summary, Nana Kwame Bediako's manifesto is quite ambitious, focusing on transforming Ghana into an industrial powerhouse while making the government leaner and more efficient. But the challenge is that implementing such a large-scale transformation will require significant resources, time, and careful planning to make it work.
Honorable Kyerematen's plan for Ghana is called the Great Transformational Plan, or GTP for short. Now, his big idea is to create what he calls the enterprise economy, where businesses lead the way in growing Ghana's economy. Let me break this down for you. Alan wants Ghana to focus on 10 key industries, like the car manufacturing, farming, clothing, and medicine. Now, this is to create more jobs and then grow exports. Basically, instead of just selling raw materials like cocoa or gold, Ghana would produce finished products, making more money and creating better paying jobs. To support farming, he's proposing something called the agro-parks. Now, think of these as huge modern farms where everything is in one place, from tools to storage and even the market for selling what's grown. Now, this will all happen is farmers can grow more, waste less, and then also earn more. Now, coming to government spending, Alan wants to be so smart about this. He plans to keep Ghana's debt under control making sure the country doesn't borrow more than it can handle. He's also looking to use technology like artificial intelligence to make collecting taxes easier and fairer, while cutting down on what he calls nuisance taxes. Alan is also big on fixing how the government works. He wants to reduce the number of ministers to just 40, combine agencies that do similar jobs, and appoint an anti-corruption Caesar, just a fancy way of saying someone with real power to crack down on corruption. For education, Alan's focus is on skills training. This means teaching young people practical skills like how to work in the factory, design clothes, or even create digital content. He also wants to expand the opportunities in creative art so Ghana can shine in areas like music, film, and design. Finally, it's all about building things: better roads, more affordable homes, and cleaner cities. He's also pushing for renewable energy like solar and wind power to cut costs and protect the environment. Alan's plan is big on businesses, industries, and fixing government inefficiencies. It is a long-term strategy that could help Ghana become more self-reliant. But the challenge is making sure it works quickly enough to meet the needs of the people struggling now.
The New Patriotic Party has laid down its vision for Ghana's future in a manifesto focused on economic stability, job creation, and modernized services. Their approach emphasizes fiscal discipline, partnerships with private sector, and technology-driven reforms. Now let's begin with the economic stability. The NPP stresses the need for fiscal discipline, which means managing the government spending carefully to avoid unnecessary borrowing and reduce Ghana's debt. To make this happen, they propose setting up a Fiscal Responsibility Council, which is an independent group that will monitor the government spending and ensure that it stays on track. In their manifesto, they also want to use public-private partnership, which is working with private companies to fund and deliver projects like factories, hospitals, and infrastructure without putting too much strain on government resources. A key highlight of their manifesto was the introduction of the National Credit Score System. Now, this system would help individuals and businesses build financial trustworthiness. Essentially, your credit score will show you how well you manage your loans or your bills, making it easier to access affordable loans or financial services if you have a good track record. This could support businesses and individuals in growing their financial opportunities. When it comes to jobs, the NPP is promising 1 million new opportunities, especially in areas like digital skills, construction, and small businesses. To support this, they are launching a new SME bank to give small and medium-sized businesses better access to loans. According to their manifesto, there is also a $100 million fintech fund to support tech startups and entrepreneurs. And they are continuing their One District, One Factory program, encouraging factories in local districts to create jobs and reduce imports. In the field of healthcare, the NPP plans to expand telehealth services. Now, this will allow doctors to diagnose and treat patients remotely, especially useful to people in the rural areas. They also plan on continuing their Agenda 111 project, which aims to build hospitals in districts without one, improving nationwide healthcare access. In the field of education, they are focused on digital literacy and vocational training. They want to prepare young people for the global economy by teaching them tech skills while also expanding opportunities for hands-on training in trades like plumbing and carpentry and things like that. They're also sticking with the free SHS policy, ensuring that secondary education is accessible to more Ghanaians. In the field of governance, NPP plans to limit the number of ministers to 50 and elect local leaders like district executives, which they believe will make the government more efficient and accountable. Finally, on the field of environment, the party plans to crack down on illegal mining, which is known as Balamsey, to protect water bodies and farmland. They're also promising reforestation projects and better waste resource management to ensure sustainability. In summary, the NPP's manifesto focuses on creating a disciplined government, building jobs, and modernizing key services like healthcare and education. The introduction of the National Credit Score System is a notable addition aimed at empowering individuals and businesses financially. A big question is whether their long-term vision can deliver fast enough for the challenges many Ghanaians are facing today.
The National Democratic Congress, led by His Excellency the former President John Dramani Mahama, has laid out a manifesto focused on the economic relief, job creation, and improving social services. Now, their plan aims to provide immediate support for struggling Ghanaians while building a more equitable and self-reliant economy. Let's start with the economic policy. The NDC promises to scrap certain taxes, including e-levy, which is a tax on electronic transactions, and other levies on betting and emissions. They say this will help reduce the financial burden on Ghanaians and make life more affordable. At the same time, they are looking to boost local production in agriculture and manufacturing to reduce reliance on imports and grow Ghana's economy. When it comes to jobs, the NDC introduces the Ejumera policy, a plan designed to create and sustain jobs across multiple sectors. This policy focuses on providing funding and support to small businesses, young entrepreneurs, and cooperatives. It also includes a commitment to expanding public works projects, which would create immediate job opportunities, particularly in construction and agriculture. Their broader job creation strategy, which is also one of their flagship policies, that is the 24-hour economy. With this, businesses and services will operate in shifts throughout the day and night. The idea is to create more jobs, especially for young people, by maximizing productivity. On healthcare, the NDC promises to build new regional hospitals and focus on preventive care, helping people stay healthy rather than only treating them when they are sick. They also want to expand the mental health services, which they say are currently underfunded. So in education, they plan to end the double track system. They are bringing in the private schools to join the free education policy. And also, they would complete the uncompleted A blocks. Their priority is strengthening vocational and technical training. This means teaching people practical skills like mechanics, carpentry, and farming, so they can find jobs or start their own businesses. They also plan to review and reform the curriculum to make education more relevant to the job market and modern challenges. Now, on governance, the NDC emphasizes fighting corruption by strengthening oversight institutions and cutting waste in government spending. They believe this will make government more transparent and accountable to the people. Finally, the NDC manifesto also addresses the environment. They propose strict measures to tackle illegal mining, also known as galamsey, which has damaged about 80% of our water bodies, farmland, and our forest reserves. They also want to invest in better waste management system and improve sanitation across the country. The NDC's manifesto also includes a proposal to establish the Women's Development Bank. This bank, obviously managed by women, will be designed to support women-owned and women-led businesses by offering low-interest loans and flexible financial services. In summary, the NDC's manifesto focuses on the immediate economic relief, sustainable job creation through policies like Ejumera and the 24-hour economy, and improving social services like the healthcare and education. While their plans offer quick solutions to many challenges, the question remains about how they will balance the ambitious spending with Ghana's current debt situation.
And that's the breakdown of the manifestos from Ghana's leading candidates for the 2024 election. Each manifesto presents a unique vision for the country, whether it's about fiscal discipline, industrial transformation, job creation, or providing immediate relief for struggling citizens.
These plans reflect different approaches to tackling Ghana's current challenges, like debt, unemployment, healthcare gaps, and environmental issues. While some focus on long-term solutions to create a more self-reliant economy, others emphasize immediate actions to ease the burdens many Ghanaians face today.
The big question is, which approach aligns best with Ghana's needs right now? Ultimately, it's up to you, the voter, to decide which vision is best for you. Look, remember the promises in these manifestos are only the beginning, and the execution is what truly matters. We know that sometimes they can just say things just to make people happy. So you decide based on what they are saying in the manifestos and who do you think they are as a person without being able to execute it. Thank you for watching this breakdown, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below. And stay tuned for more discussions about Ghana's path forward, and let's keep the conversation going.
Go and vote.